Alrighty, so just got the call that there are a couple of pepper plants that need to be rescued. Not only that, but they also have a bit of an aphid infestation. So yeah, not really sure what kind of situation I'm about to be walking into here, but when I hear a little pepper baby in need, I can't help but go and try and rescue them. So just hop in the car here. It's raining and really cold out, but let's go and pick them up, see how they're doing. All right, put the car in park, turn down the music. Great song though. All right, so the peppers are around the back in the greenhouse, and because it's pouring rain out, I'm gonna try and sprint out there real quick, grab them, and then we'll probably do a little bit of an inspection when we get back to my place. Wrong side. Just got home. Pepper babies are up in the little thing on top of the car here. What are those things called? Tules. And yeah, they got a lot of bugs on them. I think they're actually white flies that are on there instead of aphids. Either way, they're definitely very prolific. And so because of that, I'm actually not even going to bring them into my house just yet. I'm going to kind of do the first phase of trying to save them here outside still. So it's gonna be tough because it's getting cold. It's like 6 Celsius right now, but I don't want to be bringing any pests into my inside area just at the moment. So yeah, we've got a we got a battle on our hands here, that's for sure. Yeah, so as we can see, they are hurting. All right, so I actually took my jacket off just to not get any more of those babies on me. So all I'm going to do is quickly pop all this foliage off here. Adios. See ya. Ciao. I feel like I'm performing open pepper heart surgery under the lights here. All right, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to get all the soil off on these and try to get just roots. So. Woo! We ain't done yet. There's hope. All right, so now I'm just gonna give the roots a nice little pruning so that not all that is strangling around. Let's clean these peppers up. So I'm just gonna give them a real good rinse here. My hands are like going numb. Now, grab a couple smaller ones for these ones. There we go. Now since I have these right here, I'm just going to do a little teamwork here. Freezing cold. My hands are like completely numb, but we've got the pepper babies rescued into seedling mix, pruned way back, and sprayed all of the little white flies off. So I think we're going in the right direction, but it's still like way too early to tell. The two kind of concerns that I have at the moment, one are the temperatures outside, so it's under 10 Celsius, which is definitely getting pretty cold for pepper plants, but I don't want to bring them inside until the second problem, two, the white flies, that I know that those are gone and not coming back. So what I'm going to do is check back in kind of 2 to 3 days and see if we can spot any white flies on the stem, on the containers, and if we don't, then I'm going to start thinking about how I bring them inside into a bit of like an indoor quarantine setup so that I can continue to monitor that, but get them into a warmer environment. So day one is done. So it is 4 days later here, still raining outside, and want to check in on our babies here. The one big thing that I'm really looking for or hoping for today is that the little white flies that we saw when I picked them up, that we're not seeing those anywhere. My hope is that by cutting off so much of that foliage, rinsing the plant, rinsing the roots, putting into new seedling mix, that we're not seeing the white flies. Because if that's the case, then we can kind of upgrade them a little bit closer, or a little bit more inside the house, where they're gonna have a higher likelihood because of the warmer weather. So let's open it up, take a look, and then make some decisions from there. And what I'm doing is I'm just inspecting the plant, and I'm trying to see if there are any little of those white flies on the main stem anywhere, but then also anywhere around the lid on the sides here. And as I take a look here, I'm not seeing any, and I'm definitely not seeing any clusters. You know, it's always a little bit tough to say because the vermiculite, it's a little bit white and a little bit small, so be a bit tough to say, but nothing really looks like it's white flies in here to me, which is a huge win. So I am like really happy with this. A little bit surprised even that it's gone this well from that perspective of there not being any flies on them. And so I've been a little bit hesitant on bringing the plants inside or anywhere else into my house where it's gonna be warmer for them, because I don't want to track those insects in. Since I'm not really seeing anywhere throughout here, I'm more comfortable now starting to bring them inside. And so over the last few days, I've been thinking through, okay, what do I upgrade them to if we are at this point where they don't seem to have any flies on them? Well, what I want environmentally is for them to be in a warmer area, because peppers love heat. And so what I'm going to do, and what I thought through, I'm gonna try and build out here right now, is a little bit of like an intensive care unit, a little like pepper ICU. I'm going to do that in my garage here so that I can still keep them away from everything else, but begin to kind of get them into a warmer environment. I want to grab a little thermometer, and we'll stick that right down there just to be able to keep an eye on the temperature. I'm going to actually put it like that because we're going to put a cover over top. Okay, so now I'm going to put the cover back over top just in case there are any white flies. Again, keeping it as contained as possible. But the issue with this is that we don't have any light for them now. So last thing that I want to do is I'm going to set up just a little bit of light over top here. Okay, I wasn't planning for that to fit that perfectly, but oh my God, that is incredible. Okay, wow, I am just blown away by that. Okay, lights, camera, action. Look at this little pepper ICU. Are you kidding me? I cannot believe this and how well this has worked out. I literally, before starting to film this, I had never put this box over top of the little freezer box I have in the kind of insulation box, and I'd never put the grow light stand over top of this. And it just so happens that like the three of them sizing wise work out absolutely perfectly. That gives me like a little bit of hope. I feel like it's like one of those signs that like this is going to work out. So yeah, I'm cautiously, very cautiously optimistic. Well, not cautiously, I'm like completely so badly hoping for this to happen. But I'm aware that there's still a lot of like kind of challenge before we are out of the woods here. And so the big part that I am going to be kind of paying attention to and really keeping an eye on over the course of the next 7 to 8 days is one, that the flies don't come back, and then two, that we hopefully see a little bit of new growth. So 4 days ago, we had that like very traumatic open root surgery on the driveway, and that takes a little bit of time to recover from for our plant babies. Usually it's about 7 to 8 days after bringing a pepper plant inside that we start to see a little bit of growth. But given that they were outside in the cold weather, I'm guessing it'll take a little bit longer here. If we see some growth over these 7 to 8 days, then we are like very well on our way. Then I'm starting to get really optimistic about the future of these plant babies. And if we don't see any growth over the course of the next 7 to 8 days, then I don't really know what we're going to do at that point. So we'll cross that bridge when we get there. Okay, I just got back for 5 days being on the coast where I wasn't able to check in on the babies. Grow lights are bright. And we got some good news. Take a look at this. Ooh, do you see what I see? That is exactly what we were hoping to see on these babies, that first bit of growth happening on them. So I'm gonna put this on the tripod here. I'm gonna pull this off, see how we're doing. So first things first, I'm not getting any flies coming off here, coming at me. There's none of that, which is amazing. It is definitely a little bit dry in here because I haven't given them any water in a couple days, but come on. Take a look at that. All this beautiful new growth. This growth, what this means here, like the plant is telling us if it's putting on growth like that, that the root system has taken, the plant is alive and it's beginning to go into like proactively growing. And that's just like so exciting to me because those plants are on the absolute brink, as all pepper plants will be at the end of the season, but just goes to show that we change a couple of pieces in the environment that we can control here, and next thing you know, our plants are like coming back to life, and I now have gone from feeling like they're on the brink to like maybe they have a chance to these plants are showing me everything that I would want to be seeing for them to start thriving and really growing well over the course of the next month, 6 weeks and beyond. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna pop these because I feel good about where they're at inside, where I've got my full grow light set up. So let's just do that here real quick. Alrighty folks, so it has been a couple of months since the last check-in and time has just kind of flown by, gotten away from me a little bit. But with that being said, I've got something really exciting to show you. So gonna head downstairs here so you can see how the pepper babies are doing. So let's pull back the curtain here and take a look at that. So as we can see, they're doing amazing. Absolutely have gone from surviving on the brink of death to now, I would say, really thriving and looking forward to the season ahead, being placed back out in the garden outside. So this has been a super fun little project, and it leaves only one thing left to do, and that's actually to return this one here to the previous owner. So when I picked them up, they weren't expecting anything in exchange, in return, anything along those lines, just kind of left them with me. But I love the gift of gardening, so I'm gonna grab this one here. Gonna need a box to put them in. And then I'm just gonna pop this right in here. And then I think let's set them up with a bag of seedling mix as well so that this baby can be taken care of into the spring. And let's hop in the car now. So all I'm going to do is drop this off on their front porch as a nice little surprise for them, and also, you know, a little bit of a way to kick off the spring gardening season here. Bye bye, sweet baby. So if you've enjoyed this video, you know, I encourage you to also try to spread that joy and that love of gardening and to give the gift of gardening to other individuals in your life. One really easy way that you can do this that's just around the corner is that as we get into the springtime, you start all your seeds, go ahead and start a couple extra and end up with some extra seedlings. And rather than trying to cram all of them into your garden, give some of those away to friends, to family, to somebody that you know may have been going through a bit of a tough time, to somebody who doesn't necessarily know how to start seeds. I really encourage you to share that joy of gardening and to give the gift of gardening to somebody this coming season. So folks, that's everything for this video. If you've enjoyed this, I've had a lot of fun. Let me know down in the comments and I'll try and do more of these coming up and through the season ahead. But that's everything for right now. Been a lot of fun, and I'll catch you on the next one.